My mouth is a little marbly too.
No. Each week on this video, we'll give you tips and strategy on how to beat your survivor pool. I'm Alan Seslowsky here with Chris Liss. Chris, you survived again week 2 with Green Bay. What's the strategy and the ownership percentages heading into week 3?
First couple of weeks, it was pretty basic. I knew what the chances are the teams win based on the Vegas odds, and I knew when they were taken. I can eyeball it. I've done this long enough. I've made my picks. Okay, but this week it was kind of close, so I actually had to do some math. At the top, there's the Broncos, and they're per Vegas implied odds, 84% chance to win, 16% chance to lose. That's the top team on the board. But they're 38% taken. 38% of pools have them per officefootballpools.com. So that means if the Broncos lose, a lot of people go down with them. Now, the next best team, there's 4 really. The Panthers, Bills, Cardinals, Ravens are all about exactly the same with roughly the same ownership levels. So let's just compare the Broncos versus the Bills. Let's compare those two teams, and you can use any of the other 4. It's the same, basically. Okay, so there's 2 scenarios that matter. Broncos win and Bills lose, or Bills win and Broncos lose. If they both win or both lose, it doesn't matter which one you took. So we only want to compare the scenario where one of them wins and the other one loses. And then we got to compute. First thing we do is compute the odds of that happening. Well, Broncos, 84% to win. Bills, 78% to win. So there's a 22% chance the Bills lose. So the first scenario is Broncos win 84% times 22%, which is 18%. There is an 18% chance per Vegas that the Broncos win while the Bills lose. So if you take the Broncos, you move on, all the Bills people lose. Now, the opposite scenario, where the Bills win 78% and the Broncos lose, is 16%. 1 minus 84, right? 100 minus 84, 16. That equates to 12%. Okay, why does that matter? Well, it's 3-2 or 1.5-1 ratio in terms of the risk of taking the Bills, who are more risky than the Broncos. But that's only half the problem, right? We have to figure out what the reward is. So if the Broncos lose with 38% on them, and you're in a 100-person pool, say, that means there's only 62 left. And if you look at all the other teams and the percentage to win and the people on them, 12 more are going to lose on average. So that means if the Broncos lose, half the pool is gone. So if you had $10 in equity, you put in your $10 for your pool. The next week, half your pool is gone. It's now worth $20. Let's look at the other scenario. If you had the Broncos and the Bills lose, well, the Bills only have 13% of the people on them, plus the other 12. That makes 25. 25 lose, there's 75 left. 1,000 divided by 25. What does it equal? It equals $13.33. So what's the ratio? $20 in the good scenario, $13.33 in the bad. What's 20 divided by $13.33? The same 1.5. Literally, these are dead equal. The Broncos are more likely to get you to week 2. The Bills are more likely to get you a better payoff if you get there when the Broncos don't get there. But the risk and the reward are exactly matched up. What does that mean? That means you could take any of the top 5 teams, and the math is not going to help you because there's more risk with the bottom 4. There's less risk with the Broncos, but there's definitely more reward with the bottom 4. And that reward is exactly commensurate with the amount of extra risk you are taking.
Is this the rare scenario where you could use the look ahead as a tiebreaker?
There is no wrong answer in the top 5 teams. So you could look ahead as a tiebreaker, but just remember, say you look ahead and you're like, oh, I really like the Cardinals matchup next week. I don't want to take them. They're the only good team next week. And Kyler Murray gets hurt. Or next week, the Cardinals look great, but there's a 70% share on them, and you have to fade them anyway. You don't really know what you're going to be looking at when you're looking ahead.
All of that math said, who are going to be your top picks for this week?
And one is going to be the Broncos. Least bang for the buck, but safest pick. And then the other one's the Ravens. They're in Detroit, and I know it's risky to take road teams, and anything can happen. But I think Detroit has a terrible defense, and Goff is okay, but he'll make that key mistake against the Ravens.
To see Chris Liss's entire article, and he breaks down all the teams and all the math each week, you can see it right now for free for 10 days. Go to rotowire.com/try or click the link in the video description below.